There is something about Singapore that separates it from every other country I've ever been to. This place, it does something to you, something life-changing. It changes the way you think, the way you live, the way you see the rest of the world. I've been to so many places, the busy streets of Dubai, the calm of Switzerland, and the chaos of African cities. But never, not once, have I experienced what I'm about to share with you in this video. As of the making of this video, I find myself in Singapore feeling trapped, not physically, but mentally. Trapped by comfort, trapped by efficiency, trapped by a system that just works so well that going back to the life I once lived almost feels impossible. And the people here, they are just as incredible as the country they live in. The average Singaporean lives a life that many people around the world can only dream of. And most of them don't even realize how different their lives are until someone from the outside points it out. Just like this person said in a comment on one of my videos, sometimes it takes a foreigner's perspective to remind us Singaporeans of the things we take for granted. That's exactly what this video is about. Is Singapore the most comfortable country in the world? Well, I recently interviewed a Singaporean who actually lived in Africa. Not for a holiday, he really lived there. And when I asked him, do you think the average Singaporean could survive in a typical African town for 1 week? His answer shocked me.
Could Singaporeans survive in an African town for a week? So my humble opinion is not a chance, maybe 0.001%. Besides myself, 0.001% can survive in an African town for a week because it's not easy for them because they are used to the hustle and bustle, they are used to convenience, they are used to malls, they are used to air conditioning, they are used to the comfort zone. So that type of mindset is very hard for them to adapt in an African town. I mean, let alone an African city. Already the African city is a different environment, a different place. So if they can't survive that, then they will not be able to survive in an African town. Not a chance at all. Unless it's maybe like some tour groups where they have these experiences where you live in an African village or an African town just to experience that for maybe one night. Maybe those are the 0.001% that will sign up for that. Other than that, it's almost impossible, to be honest. I've never met any other Singaporean that have went into the African wilderness or went to an African town and survived there. Besides myself, because I was playing football, and sometimes some of the teams that you are playing, they are from town, so you have to go to their stadium in town to play with them. So that's how you actually get to experience that. But other than that, I think for Singaporeans to survive in an African town, it's almost impossible, in my opinion.
Personally, I think that one sign that a country is truly taking care of its citizens is when its people find it nearly impossible to survive in most parts of the world, especially in third world countries. And the fact that most Singaporeans will genuinely struggle to survive in many places across Africa, that is not an insult. It is proof of how extraordinary Singapore really is. Because let's be honest, when you live in a place where everything just works, where comfort is built into the system, where daily life runs smoother than most people could ever imagine, it is easy to forget how rare that is. But from an outsider's perspective, someone like me who's lived through the chaos, the breakdowns, the daily struggles, it is impossible not to notice. So let's talk about it. Let me break down exactly why Singapore is, according to me, the most comfortable place to live in the world, and why once you experience it, going back to anything less feels almost impossible. Let us start with the MRT. Clean, fast, air-conditioned, and always on time. Compared to many cities in the world where traffic jams, broken down buses, or overcrowded buses are the norm, Singapore's system feels like luxury. You can walk through the city in flip-flops and white socks and still come home with clean feet. Seriously, it isn't common to see litter or overflowing bins. A lot of the streets in Singapore are spotless. In most parts of the world, drinking straight from the tap is not an option. In Singapore, you can refill your bottle anywhere. No filter, no fear. Want to walk home at 3 a.m. with your phone out? No problem. No need to look over your shoulder or clutch your bag. the sense of safety is next level. There is no such things as lights out or power went off again. Where I come from, blackouts are common. In Singapore, a Wi-Fi lag is enough to spark panic. Hawker centers are the gold standard. Delicious meals for a few dollars. And no fear of food poisoning. Compare that to many cities across the world where eating street food can be a dangerous gamble. Need a doctor, a scan, an ambulance? It's fast, clean, and professional. In many parts of the world, including where I come from, basic healthcare feels like luxury. Here is something most Singaporeans may overlook. Your city is incredibly pedestrian-friendly. You can walk long distances without worrying about crossing dangerous roads, falling into potholes, or even getting soaked in the rain, thanks to the sheltered walkways spread all over the city. From MRT stations to bus stops to shopping centers, you can literally go from place to place without ever opening an umbrella. As someone who comes from a place where even walking across the street can be risky or muddy, this simple convenience, it is mind-blowing. These are the things I think many people in Singapore don't even think about because they are so normal here. But once you've lived without them, you'll never see them as just normal again. You will realize they are a privilege, a very rare one. And I think that is the point Dave was making.
So a brief introduction about myself. I'm David from Singapore. So I grew up in South Africa for 7 years and came back to Singapore, did my national service. After my national service, jetted off to 5 continents to play professional football. One of the stops was in Cameroon, where I played in the first division through one of the ex-Cameroon national players who played in the World Cup, Babang Kasak. And in 2023, ended up in Ghana, playing in the second division. And how I got to Ghana was through a friend of mine who is a UK coach, a very good friend of mine, who linked me up. And he was working at Right to Dream Academy in Ghana, which was a very famous academy to produce all the top national players and top superstars in today's football. And he had a couple of mates that were ex-Right to Dream players. And one of them was a coach, one of them is a current player, and they got me the connections to go to trial. Our first club was in Accra, Great Olympics, one of the oldest club in Ghana. So tried there for 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, the offer came from Dignified club that they're gonna sign me because the coaches had the word of mouth and everything was said and done. And then very fast, I was on my way to Dignified. So, Kojo, your other question you asked me is how can Singaporeans adapt to life in northern Ghana or, for instance, in Tamale? Well, I think the perfect answer is I just got to introduce you to them. You'll be the perfect tour guide to take them around to see what northern Ghana has to offer, to see Tamale life, because every town in Ghana is different. Yeah, you'll be the perfect man to bring them around and show them the beautiful sights of Tamale. So I would say that if they can't survive an African town for a week, what mind Tamale? So they have got to be, as what I said, open-minded and really want to embrace the culture and want to see it. Above Tamale is a beautiful town called Wale Wale, where they have a very unique art over there and a unique heritage. So those type of unique ceremonies, traditional ceremonies, then yes, it's a fascinating sight. A lot of tourists fly up there as well just to see that, just to embrace that type of experience. Beautiful waterfalls as well, King Temple waterfall, beautiful nature. They see the elephants there as well, so it's a beautiful place, especially in the nature side. So yeah, as long as they are open-minded to see those type of things, to see the type of lifestyle, to embrace the type of culture and experience, yes, they would definitely, then I would say yes, definitely they will go for it. But going back to the core of the topic is, can Singaporeans adapt? It's very difficult because of the mindset. That's what I would say. It takes maybe 0.01% to want to be there, want to visit that type of place. Yeah, besides myself, because I was there for football. I only went to Tamale 3 times, so I didn't really get to see much of Tamale. My most vivid memory of Tamale is just a stadium and the entrance of Tamale, how we get there to the town, to the main town center to have food, and then from there went to the stadium, and that was it. So, but I know a lot of foreigners that went over there, a lot of tourists that went over there. They flew over there to Tamale, then from there went to Wale Wale to actually see the beautiful sights of Wale Wale and experience the traditional ceremony.
Thank you so much, Dave, for sharing your story with us and for stepping out of your comfort zone and helping us all see things differently. Your experience reminds us that the comfort, order, and security people enjoy in Singapore every day isn't the global norm, and it is something to be appreciated, not taken for granted. And to my viewers, if you live in Singapore, I'd love to hear from you. Whether you've traveled or not, your perspective matters. What do you think of all this? Do you agree with what Dave said? How do you feel about the comfort you experience every day